When I think of Resident Evil video games, a few things come to mind. Zombies, Raccoon City, stars, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, and of course, Umbrella. Resident Evil 8 has almost none of those things. Now, before you get your ink ribbons all twisted up in a knot and head for my comments section to say something that you might regret, chill. I liked it. Matter of fact, I liked it a lot. So much, in fact, that I think it's better than 7. Okay, now you can head to my comment section. Resident Evil 8 is a narrative sequel to 2017's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. The game follows Ethan Winters, who, after a fateful encounter with Chris Redfield, finds himself in a village filled with mutant creatures in an effort to find his kidnapped daughter. You know, I really have to hand it to Capcom. In the age of the remake, they could have just kept redoing their old catalog, and they are doing that, don't get me wrong, but they didn't need to make new Resident Evil games with new stories, characters, monsters. They're fine. They got the HD remakes of the first Resident Evil along with Zero, as well as overhauling Part 2 and 3 with Resident Evil 4 coming out on VR. I'm going to break this review down to 3 parts: looks, gameplay, and characters. I could nitpick and overanalyze the game all day, but those are the 3 things I've chosen to talk about, so take it or leave it, folks. On with the review. I played this on PC, and it really looks like one of those tech demos you see come out for the Unreal Engine or Unity. You know what I'm talking about, where they show some giant, beautiful landscape with hyper-realistic graphics that you'd bet money on was real, but they don't do anything. They're kind of like a proof of concept. Well, that's what Resident Evil looks like, except in this, you can actually do things.
Wow.
Look at this house. Damn. Look at the wine. The wine is massive.
Yeah, are those to scale? Can we feed the baby wine?
Throughout the game, I found myself stopping constantly to admire a brick wall.
Look at this brick. Is this real brick in front of my face?
Mm-hmm.
Or some paintings.
Gotta look at everything in these Resident Evil games.
Maidens of the harvest. Oh, look at them dancing in the moonlight.
And of course, outhouses.
Anybody in the shitter?
Hello?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Just have a... Can you sit down? Can you sit down? Yeah!
It's been a while since I've seen something this nice, and as a console peasant myself, that's to be expected. Location after location. If this were a movie, you'd never find a studio to fund it. That's the great thing about video games. Complete control over your environment and settings. Snow looks like snow.
Come on, Ethan. Come on.
Blood looks like blood.
Ooh, it looks so
Wow.
realistic.
Giant babies look like what I can only assume what a giant mutant bio baby would look like in real life.
Oh, no! Get away from the baby! Oh, I hate it so much. I hate the fetus.
Now, it isn't all great. I would have chosen some different color palettes in parts of the village location and in other parts of the game, just where things get muddied together. Sometimes it's just too dark. I know this can be adjusted settings-wise and understand the game is just trying to add atmosphere, but there's a line where dark is scary and where dark is too dark and I can't fucking see to play the game. Thankfully, those parts are few and far between, and at no point made me want to stop playing. So far, this is the best looking horror game of 2021, and probably will be. I don't like to say I'm old school, but I'm old school. I grew up with the tank controls of Resident Evil 1 through 3, and even though those controls suck by today's standards, they still feel like home to me. In simpler terms, I miss a lot.
So many bullets. And you're out.
You just can't,
You can't
manifest.
just come out of the wall.
Other reviewers are saying this installment is more on the action side than other Resident Evil games. I feel like that's been the go-to for reviews with this game. I didn't spot too much difference in pacing that would consider this more of an action game than 7 or other Resident Evil games. They did change some of the mechanics of the inventory system and what you do with your items, but I wasn't admiring the gameplay for its similarities to Call of Duty.
Failure's not an option.
Let's have some fun, people. Like old times.
Move out.
What I'm getting at is at no point does it ever not feel like a survival horror.
Look at that. Look at that shadow. Look at that shadow. There's a shadow.
Oh no, wait, that's just the banister.
Sometimes it's just straight horror with some of the best scares in the series.
God. And he does get anxious. Oh.
Oh, fuck!
You get out of here, mister. Nope. Nope.
What the fuck is that?
Run away.
Giant
Run away.
baby!
Run away from giant baby. Ooh, snap. Oh,
A motherfucking
boy.
look in my
What
guts.
is that?
Other times, it's an all-out shooting fest when playing as Chris Redfield.
There you go.
This is nothing new with the series. Action has always been an integral part of the franchise. It's a mixed bag, but a good mixed bag. The controls are silky smooth and were easy enough for someone like me who isn't good at first-person shooters to get through the game on standard mode with a considerable challenge. And if you need a challenge, there are more difficult settings you can choose from. Resident Evil 8 has a variable cast of characters that would rival just about any trauma film. And I'm not surprised by the fact that a 9.5-foot tall vampire woman that can throw a makeup table across the room is the center of attention.
Damn.
To hell with the ceremony.
Big Lady D, Lady Demetres. And honestly, I didn't know how to say her name until my boy Dookie, everyone's new favorite merchant, said it at some point in the game.
What are you doing?
What are you doing back there?
I was itching my butt.
Don't worry, I'll get to the other characters too. After the trailer for this game was released, I couldn't scroll through any of my social media without seeing a Lady D meme. With all the attention surrounding her, you'd think she was the main villain in the game, or at least one of the main characters. Well, that turns out to not be true at all, and it's not the marketing department's fault. It's the internet. Lady D is actually one of the 4 lords that serve under Mother Miranda, the game's main antagonist. And unfortunately, she is a small yet amazing stepping stone in the grand scheme of things. When you finish that part of the game, which is very early on, you're kind of thinking, what could possibly be next?
Goodbye, mommy.
Bye, mommy.
Trust me, there's a lot of characters to get caught up in from the beginning to end. How about a giant mutant bio baby that may or may not be a figment of your imagination controlled by a demented puppeteer?
What the fuck? No! Oh, I hate it.
What? Or a hunched over, Cadu-injected man that transformed into grotesque looking fish-like creature.
Oh.
Stay back.
Hiccup. He's
See
doing
the
good.
fish?
Fish man. Woo! Yeah, kill him. Shoot him.
Or maybe you're into Lady D's 3 daughters who have a taste for blood and can transform into a cloud of insects that chase you through the entire castle.
Whoa.
Bullets cannot
not harm. Oh, yeah!
And then there's Heisenberg, who has the ability to control the metal around him with some kind of bizarre telekinesis. And transforms into a giant meat and flesh junkyard metal monster.
Oh! No way! No way! Are
Okay,
you
get ready
fucking
to
kidding
shoot.
me? This is fucking ridiculous.
A giant werewolf.
Oh, shit!
Small werewolves.
Stand up, boy.
There you go. There you go.
The undead from the grave.
Oh, where's another one? What
From
the hell?
fucking
What
grave.
the hell?
Dungeon demons.
Oh, now. Oh, now. What the hell?
Man-shaped blood-sucking mosquitoes.
Ooh, it's like a mosquito.
Cyborgs with drills for arms.
Shoot him in the face. And in his heart. In his freaking Iron Man heart.
A mindless rhino-like man charging at you with a running engine blade.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Turn around. Get his booty.
Oh! The list goes on. As a horror fan, this is my bread and butter, and I loved these characters and enemies. The best part about it is you get to take them all out. No lingering side characters, no untouchable being far off in the distance. Everyone's on the menu. Just about every boss battle in this game was my type of boss battle. Shoot at them until they're dead. One weapon may work better over another, but the premise is usually the same throughout. Point and shoot. Resident Evil 7 always felt like Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a few sprinkles of Blair Witch and a touch of Deliverance. Even though at the time the development team working on 7 said that they were inspired by the Evil Dead film.
Groovy.
Resident Evil 8, on the other hand, feels like more of its own thing, separating itself even further from the series than 7 did. There's always something to look at, and once you think you've seen it all, you get smacked in the face with something fresh and new. If this were a horror movie, it would be the perfect sequel, upping the ante in almost every way. Capcom made something incredibly approachable here, no matter what your skill level. It's simple enough for anyone to pick up and play, and can pose a challenge for those hardcore gamers that want it. For my horror friends out there that don't play games, and there are a lot of you, this is the perfect reason to start. If you don't feel like playing 7 first, then don't. I don't think you need to. Go straight to 8. Have a great time. If I haven't already ruined it for you, and if you want to visit 7, then go for it. Either way, horror fans will not be disappointed in Resident Evil Village. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review of Resident Evil 8. All the gameplay footage for this review was recorded and played live over on my Twitch. Everything Horrible. Swing over and say hello, and let's talk horror. More videos are in the oven and on the way, so stay tuned.